Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has a link to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as the links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. So with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets contract situation with Marcus Maye. Boy, oh boy. This has really, started to spiral, okay? Let's start here, all right? Because we're going to go over the details of things that have been said and things that are being leaked. And all right, so look, going into the offseason, pretty much all Jets fans were excited about the opportunity and possibility of keeping Marcus Maye a Jet for the rest of his career, right? Everybody was talking about it. We were all looking to see, hey, what kind of deal would be done? What can Joe Douglas get done so we can keep this guy in green forever, right? So, of course, think guys were being signed. We were bringing in free agents. We were doing all these things, and people were excited about the signings that we were making. But in the back of everybody's mind and across social media, you still see, okay, we got this guy, we got that guy. Hey, what about Marcus Maye? When is that deal getting done, guys? Anybody know? Anybody heard about Marcus Maye? We would constantly kind of hear that in the background. And then all of a sudden, there started to be talk about franchise tagging Marcus. Just swirling about, and then boom, he was franchise tagged, right? And a lot of people were going, it is what it is. Jets weren't able to work out a deal. Well, now we're sitting in a situation where the Jets could work out a deal, but it has to be done before the 15th of July. Here we are, 48 hours before, the 15th of July, and we start hearing things about the situation pouring out from Marcus Maye's camp, okay? Now, according to Marcus Maye's camp, and this is being reported through Ian Rappaport, okay? According to Marcus Maye's camp, initially, the deal that the New York Jets were trying to offer Marcus Maye to get his extension was 20% less than what he was playing on under the franchise tag. Now, mind you, he's playing the franchise tag that he's going to be playing under if they do not get a deal done is going to be $10.61 million, I believe, okay? So that deal that they were offering him was anywhere from $8 to $9 million per year, okay? If I'm Marcus Maye, if you look around, people talk about him around the league. He's one of the better safeties in the league. I can see why he didn't sign that, especially when, again, his camp is leaking stuff, and according to reports, is that he fielded offers from other teams. He went out and just kind of got some feelers and saw, hey, if I was a free agent, hit the market, what would you offer me? And there were teams that were willing to offer way more money than that. And he was saying, hey, why would I sign this? I can just play under the franchise tag and do my thing. There's teams that will give me more money than this, okay? Now, Marcus Maye's camp also leaks that the offer that they had counter offer with the New York Jets, they're pulling that off the table because the New York Jets have failed to respond to them. This situation is really, not going well. And of course, Marcus Maye's agent is on social media doing what he does. Just, going off. Trying to put pressure on the Jets. He's done that before. He did that when the Jets were franchise tagging him, and he went off and talked about Marcus's value to the team and all those things. And, he's Marcus Maye's agent. When I look at this situation, I can see both sides, and I'm going to explain that. So when I look at it from a player's side, right, I look at Marcus Maye. And if I'm Marcus Maye, I say to myself, or I'm saying to the Jets, I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm a team leader. Point blank, period. I'm a team captain. I'm one of the best players on your defense, right? You could clearly see that. And even in a bad season last year, one of the worst seasons the Jets have ever had, right? Bad coaching, bad scheme, all that stuff. He was a guy that stood tall. He played solidly throughout the year. He had impacts in a ton of games. When Jamal Adams was going off, right? And everybody remember that? Jamal Adams losing his mind. Anybody remember Jamal Adams, Prez, the guy everybody loved? when he completely tried to flush the Jets down the toilet with all his shenanigans, from telling people in public that he did not want to be a Jet and he wanted to be a Cowboy, from doing crazy interviews with the media and telling them the inner workings of the Jets, front office, to calling our general manager a liar, to talking about our completely just destroying the coaching staff, and then talking about the inner workings of the locker room and how players had issues with the coaching staff, all that. When all that was going on, you know who stood tall? Marcus Maye. Marcus Maye didn't say nothing. He kept his head down and kept working. He's a guy that you watch out on the field, the talent's there, he makes an impact. He has no issues coming off the field. You don't question his talent, you don't question his heart, and you damn sure don't question his effort. I could see that if I'm Marcus Maye, I'm looking at Joe Douglas and I'm saying to myself, I will not sign for a dime less than what I believe that I'm worth. I completely get it. I completely get it. But then I also start to look at the situation again from a player standpoint, and I'm looking at the optics, right? If I'm a young player and I'm watching Marcus Maye, mind you, again, Marcus Maye is a team captain and he's a good player. If I'm a young player and I'm looking at Marcus Maye, a guy that has given everything to the New York Jets, everything, again, never questioned his heart, never questioned his talent, and we've never questioned his effort out there on the field ever, right? He's given everything. He's a guy that you drafted. He's been in green since he's been in the NFL. If I'm a young player and I'm watching this guy put all of that work out there and still not get a deal done, if we do not sign him before the 15th, if he still did not get a deal done, what kind of message does that send to the locker room? What kind of message does that send to young players in the locker room? You got to think about that as well. It doesn't send a good message. I'm just saying, especially when you look at the Jets' history of not being able to keep guys. The Jets have a long history of not keeping guys that actually pan out in the draft. They usually go elsewhere. As a matter of fact, we have a history of not keeping the right guys. If you look back, I talk about the Maccagnan era all the time. Maccagnan was terrible, but one of the worst decisions that he ever made, and a lot of people don't talk about this, one of the worst decisions he ever made was allowing Snacks Harrison to walk away and go sign with the Lions. That was one of the worst decisions he ever made. Snacks was one of the best nose tackles in the league at that time, and he was a monster up front. And instead of giving him the deal that he should have gave him to keep him around, he let him walk. We signed Muhammad Wilkerson, and y'all know the rest. That was a mess. And Muhammad Wilkerson had a long history of not doing what he was supposed to be doing to become the player that we needed him to be, or become the leader that we needed him to be. And that situation just blew up and spiraled out of control. So again, you got a guy like Marcus Maye who's done all the right things. Can we keep him is the big question, right? Then I look at it from Joe Douglas's perspective. Here's a general manager that clearly we all have faith in. He's got a plan. He's a guy that does not overpay, particularly for non-impact positions. He's a guy that's going to make sure he sticks to his plan, and he's going to build this football team. I understand Joe Douglas's stance. I understand that he's all about building through the draft as well, all those things, right? I get it. But I know that first and foremost, he wants to get Marcus Maye for the right price. And maybe this is just him playing hardball, and he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure he gets him at the right price. But Joe Douglas is doing his thing, so I understand why he's doing this. I get it. But I'm just hoping that at some point these sides are able to come together and the deal is able to get done. So please comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about this situation? Let's go back and forth, all right? You folks have a good one. Peace.